Well, good afternoon, folks. It's Hap here from Hapless Security, and today I have a nice lock for you. This is a Mul-T-lock. It's a mortise cylinder. So there's a funny story about this. I picked this up from a friend of mine who's a locksmith just this morning, actually, and he said, "Hey, do you want a free Mul-T-lock? I don't have keys for it." I said, "Sure, why not?" And he tells me that he gets called to a house. He's a specialty locksmith, very bespoke locksmith. He gets called to this house, a beautiful, expensive house out in the middle of, Ridgeville. And the guy has just acquired this house, and he says, "Hey, I want you to put really good locks on my doors. I want it to be so secure, unpickable locks." My friend is a very honest locksmith. He says, "Well, not really anything unpickable, but I can put some really difficult to pick or some specialty locks on there that are really hard to pick." And he says, "Sure, yeah, do that." So my friend goes and looks at the locks that are already on the door, expecting to find like some sort of wiser or something on the door, or tangle or whatever. And he finds these. And he's like, "Well, you have Mul-T-locks on your door." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I looked it up. They're made in Israel." He's like, "I want an American-made lock, something good and tough." I'm pausing for laughter right now. So he says, "Well, what kind of good and tough?" And it's like, "I don't know, something that's just, it's unpickable." So he says, "Well, an American-made lock that's unpickable." He says, "Well, how about a quick set?" The guy's like, "Yeah, sure, that's a huge name brand, do that." So he throws some $8 quick set cylinders in this guy's front door, back door, side door, multiple doors, but he had like 6 or 7. And he takes these off. These garbage made in Israel locks. Yeah. So he says, "Here you go." He says, "I don't have the keys." The guy didn't give me the keys to go with him. I asked him, and he says, "No. He says, I'm gonna just throw the keys out." So now the funny thing is that this doesn't have a tailpiece on it. And I don't know why. Although I suspect that because this was a mortise lock, there was a little something more to this door than just a standard deadbolt set. So it probably had a specialty tailpiece that he had to swap onto the shutter quick sets that he installed. So, let's get to picking this thing. I don't know much about this particular one. I'm not sure what model it is. Definitely looks like pin and 5 pins. Just from the size and the fact that I can see that first pin and it's pretty thick. Let's clamp her up here. And it's been a bit of a dimpled day. Found some Stanley Fitmarks I was picking earlier. So I've got all my dimple picks already out, which is nice. So, this is the small right-hand flag from the Sparrow's Black Flag kit. And I'm going to use where's my big thick tension and this nice big thick Z-wrench. Now normally I would use a larger flag on sort of a pin-and-pin multi-lock so that I can pick the outer pins without accidentally bumping the inner pins, but this is like a 206 keyway or something. It's nice and wide, so I can really maneuver in there. I can get all the way down with this little one, and I can really feel when I'm on an outside pin, when I'm on an inside pin. So this will actually work fine for the whole picking experience, I think. And I don't know if this is interactive. Oh, it is. It is. Pin 2 has a little detent underneath it, so this was an interactive. Nice. Not a cheap lock, folks. Not a cheap lock. Alright, I'm going to put on some light tension here. I'm going to go down and find myself a speed bump, which is number 3. A little counter rotation, a little click out of 3. Now 4 is the speed bump. A little counter rotation and click out of 4. And whoop, there we go. Number 5. I think I picked number 5 going under it, actually. Sure felt like it. Just to see if anything moved. Number 4 is, oh, there we go. 4 is that. Alright, so 2 will probably want to set really high. There we go, there's number 2, just because it's that interactive pin. So it usually sets above the core. Feels like you're oversetting it, but you're not. Well, you are, technically. I don't know what happened there. It went up, but it's stayed up. Okay. 1 is giving us some kind of rotation. Let's pick 1. There we go. 1 is picked. Okay. Going back down the line. We have a pretty deep false set. I wonder if there's anything left here, or are we on inner pins? Let's check number 5. Okay, number 5 feels squishy, so it's actually probably overset something here. 3, there we go. 3's good. There's a mushy click out of 3, but I'm good with it. What's going on with 1 here? 1 seems to want to be set really high, but that doesn't make any lot of sense. There we go. Now 1 is set. Okay. Yeah, 1 wanted to be really high for some reason. Must be a 0 cut. Alright, 3's good. 4 on the floor. Let's bring her up. Yeah, get 7 on 4. There we go. Now we got that deep false set. So now we're down to inner pins, it looks like. See how deep that set is now? Yeah, we're on inner pins. Alright, so 1's inner pin. It's good. Got a little click out of it. 2's inner pin. Got a little click out of 2. 3's inner pin. Come on, 3's. There we go. What's 3 you want to do? 3 might be set, actually. Well, 4. Oh, there we go. Got a good click out of 4's inner. And 5. Come on, 5. Alright. 5's riding up. Got a little click out of 5, but it didn't sound good. Okay, back to... Oh, 4 came down again. Ooh. I think I've overset 4's inner pin. Oh, there we go. A little click out of 2's again. 1 set. 2's. There we go. And we're open. Now, let's get this out of the way and we'll gut it and see what we got here. Felt like a lot of spools, actually. Felt like a spool almost on every pin. Normally, number 2 on the interactives is actually a standard. So we'll see about that, but I didn't actually feel that standard for some reason. It felt like a spool on 2. Oh, I guess we don't need a screwdriver because, as I pointed out earlier, it doesn't have a tailpiece. But look at this. So we have it cocked at a 45 here. But when you turn her over, the tailpiece, like the little lever, the tail or the little slot the tailpiece extension goes into, is directly vertical, which is bad because it means it's going to trap our little inner pins. So I'm going to do not a Bosnian bill, and I'm going to actually get a shim. And I'm going to get in there and shim this thing. If I can. This is actually a thicker shim. Oh, no, it works. Doesn't always work on multi-locks. They're pretty tight tolerances. And this one is no exception. It is pretty tight. But it is shimming tightly and well. So, okay. It's probably a good follower. And let's go ahead and push her out. There we go. See, Bill? That's how you do it. Alright, let's get out my pinning tray here. Let's look at number 1. Okay, standard. Number 2. Very short standard, so that's that interactive pin. 3. Standard. 4. Standard. 5. Also standard. All standard. Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to take a look at the inner pins here and see what they look like. Okay, that's a standard too. That's also a standard. And that is a standard. Okay, let's line these up a bit. Let's do this down here and this down here. That strange noise you hear in the background is my dog sampling the flavor of his genitals. My apologies. He's a big fan of that. It's disgusting. Okay. Thanks, buddy. I didn't need to eat ever again. Okay, so that's what we're looking at for our key pins here. It's kind of like a nice straight sweep down, but you can see they're all standards, and the inner pins are all standards, but quite varied actually. All right, let's go look at the fun part. These up here. Okay, I'm gonna remove the. Can you stop, man? Hey, dude, I know it's delicious. but can you stop? Thank you. Sorry, folks. Alright, let's take a look at pin 1. Ah! Ooh, these are some strong springs. Beefy strong springs. So that is a mushroom pin, and it looks like a little bitty serration on the inner pin there. And these are the newer self-contained ones too. Okay, so a little bit there. Big beefy spring. Let's pull the spring out. Wow, that is a spring. Jeepers. Look at that. I can fix my car with that. Okay, and then number 2 is the interactive pin. Oh, that's a full-size mushroom pin as well. Same as this one, with that same little lip on it. These usually have a smaller spring on them. These also usually have a smaller upper pin, but this one does not. It's full-size. It does have the smaller spring, though, a little steel spring. Okay, and next one is there we go. This is another mushroom. So far, all mushrooms. Same little ridge on it. Nice big ass spring. Come on. There we go. And let's come at this from the other side. So number 5. Ah, what do you know? Another mushroom. Also a big ass spring. And number 4. And it's another mushroom. Okay, so these are all mushroom pins. That's why I felt so many spools. Okay, and another one in there, and nothing goofy. Alright. Okay. I'm going to show you something here. So on this core, I don't know if you can see it, but if you look down the chamber of number 2, you can see the little detent for number 2's interactive pin. If I get in here, I can show you it's actually spring-loaded. So what that does is on an interactive key, and I do have an interactive key, but I'm not going to show you because it's my house key. There is a little piece that moves. Actually, I may have an interactive pin here from another Mul-T-lock. I don't know if it's an interactive. It's not an interactive. Okay, never mind. I do have another interactive right there somewhere. Actually, I think I've got like a box of them. Whatever, I'll find it later. Not a big deal. I'll demonstrate it on another one. But yeah, that's what actually sets that second pin higher than the others. Alright. So let's take a look at our pins here. There you go. All mushroom pins. And these little mushroom pins are tricky little boogers. So, there's, on this particular core, there is no countermilling. But I have actually seen countermilling on a Mul-T-lock core. It is an option, I think, just not on this one. This is kind of a lower grade residential version. But it is a very sharp edge on the core here, so it's enough to get this little, sorry, that's probably out of focus, to get this little lip here on the inner pin and this big lip on the outer pin. So it'll come in and it'll crack that and it'll grab it. And then when you pick it to the inner pin, it'll grab that inner pin too. And you gotta pick that out. Tricky stuff. And I just shot one of the springs into my face. There we go. So, that's that. I'll probably be doing more Mul-T-locks coming up here because now I'm inspired to go and find my big box of Mul-T-locks. Thanks a lot. Happy picking.